Hi, welcome to Graphic Design 1. This is the classroom tour. This is what it looks like on the home page. It looks a little bit different for me because I have all these buttons that are hidden, and it will look a little bit different for you as a student. But I wanted to show you around so you understand, and as well as parents understand where things are and what Graphic Design 1 is. I'm Miss Yost. Here is my contact information, my email, office hours, and I also have a commitment to anti-racist, anti-bias work that we're doing here at Beaverton High. That is very important. I also have all of these buttons that go to different things. So this is the link to the Zoom that we have every day. The calendar, which is where I put all of the activities and content that we're doing every single day. So you'll always want to start here for class every day, and that has the link to our Zoom as well. And then if you are interested in, rather than going through the calendar to see our work, you can just go over here to modules, and that will take you to our units and all of the assignments that we do each day. So I'm just going to collapse these really quick. So the first unit that we did was Intro to Distance Learning, and that was just talking about, how to turn stuff in, where to find stuff. I also had the video doing an explanation of everything in case people wanted to watch that. And then I have Unit 1 where we have the presentation. I usually always have all of the content here. So if I have a PowerPoint or materials or assignments, they're always listed really neatly here in each unit. So this one is the PowerPoint presentation, and that shows kind of what we were talking about, what we were learning. And then these were each of the activities or assignments that we did for that unit. So if you're ever wondering, an assignment always looks like this, where it's a little piece of paper with a pencil icon, and that should always show you what assignments we've been doing. I always recommend to do them in order. So start at the top and work your way down, especially if you missed a day or two. This is a good place to start. Same thing here, Unit 2. There's a link to our presentation, and all of our assignments are right here. So that is very handy. And then to go to the calendar, if you want to see what we're doing each day, you click on the calendar, which again, I recommend that you always start here. And my calendar looks crazy, I know. But for example, for Graphic Design 1, we have an agenda. That agenda got erased. Let me take a look here. So here's our agenda. There will always typically be a Zoom link here, and then the video for the day will show up there. Let me pull up, for some reason, our video. There we go. So what I typically do is if I'm delivering a lesson, I will have the Zoom video for the class right here for anyone to review if they missed the day. And I also have the agenda and the work that we're doing in the order that we're doing it here. So it's nice and easy to follow, and you can just review it if you're not able to attend class for some reason. But the calendar is your best friend, and so I always recommend going there. The other thing that I wanted to mention is any assignments that you have that you've turned in will always have a line through them if you've completed them. And that's a good way to know if you've done something or if you can't remember if you did something. So for example, all of these assignments were done. And these assignments are on the days that they're due. So that's really helpful if you're like, oh, I don't remember when the self logo ideate is due. Usually on your calendar, I always have a due date for it. If I don't, that's a really weird scenario, but it always should show when something is due. And once again, the little icon with the pencil and the paper shows an assignment. So you can go through and look, oh, what do I have due for tomorrow? Oh, I have this and this and this due. These are all different classes, so I don't assign multiple assignments for one class. So these were all due on Friday for different classes that I taught. So that is a really good way to keep track of what's going on in each of your classes and what to do each day. And then I'm going to go back to the home page. So I'm going to go to courses and go to graphic design 1. And if there's ever any other announcements or things that I need students to know, they will be right here. So if something's not working, like Zoom's not working, I will put it in announcements and say, hey, Zoom isn't working, hold on, I'm working on it. So if there's ever a situation in which I'm not on Zoom, I will send an announcement through here and say, hey, I'm not on it, but I'm working on it. And finally, the last thing that I wanted to show is right here, coming up. This also helps. There's to-dos, and then these show up for students as well to show, hey, what's coming up next? What stuff do I have due next? And so that's really handy if you just want to check in and see like what kind of work we have coming up, as well as assignments that are due. So that is all I have for graphic design 1 in terms of Canvas. But I did want to talk to you about what we do in graphic design. So in graphic design, I talk about the fundamentals of design work. And ultimately, I want students to be able to create work that shows their understanding of the elements and principles of art, how to use typography, how to use the software, we use Illustrator, and how to use color. And we do focus on those a lot. We focus on layout, using negative space, and eventually students will create work that will go into our school publication, DAM Magazine, if they want. Of course, that is not required, but it's cool to see your work in actual publication. So you can go through and kind of see what students have done in the past. But we also have a website that shows student work. And this has a really long URL. beavertonhighdigitalmedia.weebly.com. I need to buy a better URL or domain. Oops. Beaverton High Digital Media. If you type that into Google, it should pop up. I probably spelled it wrong. And so here's some student work that we've done in the past. This student did this work in digital photography. We learn about Photoshop, as well as this one. A student did this in our first photography class. There's a lot of stuff that we cover. These are layouts for the magazine, photography. There's quite a bit of work that we do. And then in graphic design, we learn about the whole design process for logos and for creating client work. So we do quite a bit of work in these classes to give students the skills necessary to gain some kind of employment in these fields. So that is all I have for you. If you have questions about any of this, please let me know, and I really look forward to having your student in class.